Hello, Xewani. Lotšha. My name is Kgomotso, South African, living in Botswana. Thanks for watching. I'm so excited today. I'm talking to my cousin Kgomotso Mashego, others known as Malang or Robbins. He goes by a lot of names, so Kgomotso Mashego to me. So Kgomotso went through a devastating experience that changed his life forever, and I hope that through our conversation you will learn how to navigate difficult periods in life, because life will always give you curve balls. There is a saying, when life gives you lemons, you make a lemonade. And though this sounds so cute, living it out cannot be easy. So let's welcome Kgomotso. Welcome.
Hi.
Yeah, so thank you for making time to talk to me today. And I know this is a very personal and vulnerable subject to talk about, and hopefully your story can help someone else, right? So Kadi 18th June 2017, your life changed forever.
Not forever, but
Not forever.
yeah, it changed.
Your life changed. Yeah,
But not forever.
not forever. Why do you say that? How do you see what happened to you?
Well, I thought it had changed forever, but there's always a battle between science and faith. But doctors have confirmed that it won't be forever, but faith is making the process shorter.
Yeah.
So I remember, should I tell you what happened?
Yeah, so, I think I know a little bit of the story, but for the benefit of everybody, maybe take us through that day. I'd like you to start, like, when you woke up. Do you remember when you woke up?
The hospital?
No, at home.
At home?
Like, on the day.
Yeah.
On the 18th, when you woke up, what were your plans? What were you going to do? What was your state of mind when you woke up in the morning, at 18th?
I think on that day, all I was thinking about was business, because I had a mobile bar business.
Yeah.
So on that day, we had a very big gig in Clayville. So on that day, that's all that was buzzing in my mind. Yo, we need to make it happen. I need to stock up. I need to. So I did all of that, and then the day was a success after all. So I think you never expect such an incident on a day like that, because you've been up and down for quite so long, and nothing of that nature has actually happened. So you don't even expect it.
You don't even think about it.
Yeah, you don't even prepare for it.
Yeah, prepare.
But we went through the day, and then later on, I dropped all the stuff at home, and then now I was driving back home alone. It's a usual drive. I'm used to it now.
I've done it many
because
times.
we've done it so many. It's even a routine drive now. So I'm cruising back home, and then here comes a car. It's driving in my lane, where it's supposed to be driving in its lane. So I'm flicking my lights. This person is not responding. It's not moving. It's not doing this. I'm wondering, okay, what's happening? Is he asleep? So I'm like, okay, no, let me just shift to his lane. Since it seems like he's not gonna move anytime soon before it's a head-on collision. So I move into his lane, and then as we're about to cross, now he decides to come back to his original lane, and that's where I was. And then he hit me, boom, and then the car tilted over. And then from there, I just woke up in hospital.
So you lost consciousness. You don't remember what happened after impact?
That, I only remember the impact, the sound of it, boom. Because I could feel that the car, it's not on its tires anymore. And then from there, I just went out. And then I woke up in hospital, Tembisa Hospital. Shoo. And I was like, I couldn't even recognize it. I thought I was home. I was like, no, my walls are not this white. This actually looked like heaven.
So you thought you had died and you went to heaven.
I thought I was in heaven already.
We laugh now, but I'm sure it wasn't funny then, eh?
I was confused.
Yeah.
And now I know how it feels when people say they don't remember what happened before that? And I didn't make sense of it. I was like, no, it's impossible. But when I woke up in hospital, I was like, yo, okay, where am I? Why am I here? Because I had everything, my watch, my phone, everything, surprisingly. Because apparently they steal these things. So I was shocked. I was like, okay, why am I sleeping in my jeans and shoes? I even remember, I was wearing these shoes even on that day. I think I need to frame them.
Yes.
Put them somewhere.
Before you lose them.
You know? So I woke up and then I tried to sit up. But the pain was too much.
Where was the pain?
On my back,
right.
On my spine. It was too much. I was like, yo, what's happening? Why am I in so much pain? That time I don't even recognize the place that I'm at. And I'm in pain and I'm wondering, yo, where am I? Am I dead? What's happening? And then a nurse walks by, and then I tried to call the nurse, and then they didn't give me any form of attention. I'm like, okay, what's happening here? It felt like a dream, actually. I felt like, because I usually have dreams that feel real.
Vivid dreams.
Yeah, so that one felt like one of those. I was like, okay, probably I'm just dreaming. And then I went back to sleep, actually, and I slept. And then I didn't know how long I slept. And then I woke up again, and then it was a bit busy now. I think that's when it was around 7, 8.
PM?
No, AM in the morning.
AM. At what time did this happen?
The accident happened at around 2 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 a.m. to 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I called one of the nurses again, and then they came. And then I asked her, what am I doing here? Where am I? And she's like, no, you're in hospital. You're involved in a car accident. I was like, car accident? Me? No ways. When did this happen? And she's like, well, you're in hospital now. Clearly it happened. So I was like, okay, then what now? And then now she started to check me now. Check my temperature, checked my eyes, and then she checked my tongue. Apparently it was turning purple.
Right.
So it was a bit too dangerous for me to be left at casualty. Yeah, so they had to call the doctors and everything. And that's when I actually realized that, okay, I'm in hospital. Because now the bed was moving so fast, and I could see the lights. That felt like a movie. And then they took me to the casualty wards there. And then I think my family drip, he gave me painkillers. They asked me if I'm in pain. I was like, yeah, I'm in pain, so and so and so and so.
Have you not phoned anybody at this point? There's no one trying to phone you?
I didn't even know that I had my phone at that time. You know. And then they gave me painkillers, and then I slept again. And then I woke up around 2 p.m. And okay, I'm in hospital. Okay, this is real. And then I started searching myself. Okay, I found my money. I'm still wearing my watch. Then luckily, here's my phone. Oh, I still have a phone. And then I switched it on. The battery's flat. So I asked one of the nurses, can you please charge my phone for me? I need to call because nobody knows.
Yeah, your family will be worried now.
So she's like, okay, no, you don't have to charge it. Let me give you my phone and then just call one of them and then let them know. And then I called my mom. Yeah, it was around 2 p.m. because they were from church. I called her, and then, yeah, that's when the hospital started being flooded with family members. They all came, and then they moved me to one of the wards there and told me that we had to wait for a specialist. And this accident was on a Sunday. The specialist was only going to arrive on Wednesday. Yo. So my mom was like, no ways. We can't wait that long. We'd rather get him transferred. And I'm like, no, transferring him will cost you money, blah, 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 blah. My mom was like, bruh, there's no way that money is
leaving him here.
Yeah, for that long. Then I slept on Sunday, Monday. Without eating or drinking.
Why? You didn't want to drink, or you were just not served?
I think my body was in shock. They would bring food, but I wouldn't eat. I would drink nyana here and there, but my body was still in shock. So they transferred me from Tembisa to Unitas. And then that's where the operation was done on my spine. I think it's a T11, T11 and T12. Incomplete fracture, as they call it, science.
Yeah.
An incomplete spine fracture. That's where the not forever comes in, because there's a difference between being complete and incomplete. When it's complete, that means the spine was cut into two,
Right.
and they can never repair that.
Right.
And the body will never recover from that, unless obviously by the grace of
Yeah.
God. Then, yeah. But yeah, and then after the operation, that's when everything started. And that's when reality kicked in. I was like, okay.
So who told you the news that you possibly might not be able to walk? Is it the doctor or is it your family?
The doctor, my doctor.
Do you remember?
Dr. Azar.
Do you remember that moment? And
Yeah, I do. Because
how
I
you
asked him,
felt?
actually. Because his facial expression told me a lot. Every time when he asked me, how are you feeling? Can you feel your legs? Because at some moment that I couldn't even feel my legs.
Okay.
Can you feel your legs? I was like, no. So every time when I answered, I would look at his facial expression, study the facial expressions. And they would
But
tell me.
were you not suspecting that until that point, until you were moved to a different hospital? At that point, still nothing.
No.
You didn't. Could you move though? Could you move, sit up, and?
They told me not to move.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I will move.
Yeah.
But I couldn't, it didn't click in my mind that you can't feel your legs, actually.
Yeah.
Because I remember, Kotimbisa, Shako held my feet. And she asked
Shako
me.
is his sister.
Shako held my feet. And then she asked me if I could feel them. But I just ignored the question.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people and so many questions. I was like, I can't answer all of you guys, Until I went to Unitas. That's when I started focusing on these things. Because now the doctor would ask me on a regular, can you feel your legs? What can you feel? Where is it painful?
Yeah.
What's happening? That's when I started looking into these questions. Okay, no, man. After the doctor leaves, now I'm doing self-introspection. No, but I can't actually feel my legs. They feel numb, And then I tell him, no, my legs feel numb, so and so and so and so and so. And I was like, oh, okay. And this is like after the operation. I think that's when he expected a lot of results after the operation. And then one morning I decided to ask him. I was like, no, let me just ask him. And then I asked him, okay, so what now? Where to from here? And then it's like, we just have to attend therapy and then see how quickly your body recovers from it. I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, how bad is the injury? Because it sounds bad,
Yeah.
And I was like, it depends on how your body reacts to it, how quickly it recovers and all of that. But there's a 50-50 chance that you might not walk and a 50-50 chance that you might get back on your feet, depending on how your body responds to the shock. So that's when I realized that, okay, now it's about to get bad. That's when now my soccer career started clicking.
Yeah, because you used to play soccer.
Now I won't be able to play. So I asked him, how long will I be out? And it's like, we can't estimate it. Some people take 3 years, some people take 5, some take 8. So I asked him, so it's different with everyone. And I was like, because the only thing that I cared about at that time is soccer. Like, 5 years? How old will I be? Clearly my body would have went back to baby mode. I have to learn everything about soccer again, So I was like, okay, no stress. Let me just face this and accept that, okay, I'll have to, let go of football.
How long were you in hospital?
Sure. Unitas, I think close to a month. I was there close to a month. Then I was moved to Ep.01 midstream. I was there for 2 weeks.
Was that for physio?
Yeah.
For what?
Ep.01 midstream was for physio. And then, but the physio was a bit light. So they had to move me to another hospital, which is Mumed in Pretoria. So they moved me there for intensive physio. So yeah, I went there. I think at Mumed I was there for a month and a half, if not a month and 3 weeks. Yeah, so it was quite a long time in hospital. Came back home as a yellow bone. Couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe that I was me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how long I was in hospital.
You know, I was reading an article on trauma, and it was talking about the stages of trauma. A person can move from shock to anger to denial, and before they get to accept and learn to live in their new body. And because I stay far from you, I never saw you on an everyday basis, so I don't know how that was like for you. Would you say you also went through those stages of shock, anger, denial? Because for me, I know you as this happy Kgomotso, and I don't remember a part or a stage where you were like depressed, not wanting to talk to anybody, wanting to just be by yourself. I don't know. Did you go through that? How long was that transition for you?
I think one thing about a medical procedure now, which I like a lot, is they start treating the mind before the body and everything. So you get counseling. You're fresh out of an accident, already you are running on counseling.
Really?
It was shocking as well, because at some point it was irritating, because I still want to make sense of what happened. And now you're barging in with questions, blah, blah, how are you feeling, blah. It was a bit irritating. But, I had to go through it. Anger, I don't think I went through that. What kept me sane most of the time was the support that I had. Yeah, I think that was the biggest thing that kept me sane, and prayer. Because I think I always tell a lot of people that the things that I've went through in life before my accident, I feel like it was preparing me for the accident, especially emotionally and mentally and all of that. Because if it had found me at my weaker self, I think it would have taken a huge toll. But it didn't affect me that much. I just lived on a daily basis. I was like, okay, I'm still alive, so what's up?
Right, you're still alive. Some people lost their lives. You're still alive.
And when you're in hospital, when you see what other people are going through, you're like, oh, okay, I'm lucky. Especially when I got to Milmed. It was actually my first time witnessing someone on a life support machine. I was like, wow, guys. And then when I looked at myself, I'm like, I can't be complaining. If there's someone living on a machine like that, I can't be complaining. Yeah, I think
it was just an easy thing for you to accept, to say this is the new normal.
Yeah, because I think at counseling as well, they tell you these things that. So how would you feel if the doctor was like, you won't be able to walk again? So they let you go through the emotions before you actually before you think of it.
Sure.
So it was a bit easy. I would answer honestly. It would be very disappointing because, and I think before they even come to you, they do a background check with your family as to what was this person doing. Because I remember the first session, that lady knew that I was a soccer player before I even told her. So I was shocked. I was like, okay, how did you know that? But, it helps. It helps them lay out their questions properly.
Right.
Which will be comfortable with you to actually process and think about the answer. Which helps a lot. Shout out to the medical field.
Hey. So now, okay. So the doctor has said yours was a partial fracture. And because it was a partial fracture, there is possibility of you being able to walk and move again. Are you still in therapy? Are you still doing physio? Or is it going to be like an automatic thing where one day you just wake up? How do they see it working out?
At some point, these improvements, they come on a daily basis. Today you can do this, tomorrow you wake up and you're able to do that. Because when I left hospital, I couldn't feel both my legs, but now I feel both my legs.
Really?
Yeah. So it's a gradual thing. It comes on a daily basis, but most importantly, everything that runs through the spine, which are your nerves, are all connected to the brain. So what you feed the nerves is what's important. So that means your mental state must be up to scratch every day. You know, your stresses must be low. You know, you can't be stressing. You can't be, because that's gonna strain the nerves. You know, which is what we want to heal. So it's a gradual thing. It's a gradual thing. One morning you wake up and then, okay, I can pick up my leg. Okay, I can do this. Okay, I can do this. You know. So yeah, physio, I still stretch, because most importantly is to stretch, because that keeps the muscles active. So, and that's what we need, active muscles, so that you avoid things like spasms and painful muscles. Although when they come alive, they become painful, which is my constant
On
complaint.
your back?
No, on the legs.
The legs? Oh.
You know, because they've been off for so long.
Yes.
And then now they come to life. It's cramps after cramps after cramps after. I'm even used to it now. When I get cramps, I don't even shout anymore. I'm like, there we go again.
So when you were given your first wheelchair, were you given a wheelchair at the hospital or discharged? Were you taught how to use it? How was that like?
That was fun, actually.
Almost you were special. Fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It was exciting, actually. I was like, yo.
New wheels.
New wheels. Because I was used to those granny wheelchairs.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, I'm going to have a granny wheelchair. Oh, that's so boring. Because that's what I used to use at Unitas.
Yeah.
Because they don't have active chairs.
Yeah.
These chairs, we call them active chairs. You know, because you can literally do anything and everything on it. You know, so I was a bit bored when I used that granny chair, like Unitas. And then when I got to, I think they only gave me an active chair when I got to Milmed. Yeah, then I saw these smaller, sporty ones. I was like, hey, yeah, this one maybe I might just be comfortable on, because I can't use that thing. You know, and then, yeah, they gave me, it was a chair from Chairman. There's a company called Chairman that does wheelchairs and car adaptations. So they're the ones that adapted my car and everything.
So you buy a normal car and you take it to them,
Yeah.
For them to adapt
But it must be automatic.
Yeah.
Then they just put in the adaptation, teach you how to do it, and then you're on the roads.
I think for me that's what fascinates me. Like, that's what I'm saying. For now, I never saw you in a state where you're like, I'm done with this life. Like, no, you just were discharged and you adapted easily to this new way, and you're like, okay, car, adapt please, and then the car's being adapted, and then life is going on.
Yeah, but that's where, like I said, the medical field is very good now, actually. I hope they keep it that way.
Yeah.
Because there is something called OT, that's an occupational therapist. Those ones teach you everything about your wheelchair. They teach you how to get into a bathtub, teach you how to sit on a toilet, teach you how to get into a car, pack your own wheelchair, put it on the passenger seat, you know, teach you how to live alone, how to survive alone.
On your own.
Yeah, which is very good, actually, because I felt when you leave the hospital, you're equipped already with everything. That's why I was able to leave the hospital and then
to be independent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, my mom was a bit insecure, like, no, it's like, I'm moving.
She was worried. I mean, she almost lost her child.
I was like, there's no time, we better move. You know, because I think I went out of hospital, I think it was August. No, first week of September.
Sure.
Yeah, that's when I went out of hospital. And then I think I sat the remainder of the year. January, I got a job.
Were you not working before? Okay.
Before I was just a baller and a businessman.
Yeah.
And then after that, now I had to redirect everything. You know, because I was just studying for the sake of studying, just for in case if I don't make it in football.
What did you study?
Mechanical engineering. You know, but now another thing is that after the accident, now I couldn't get a job in a mechanical engineering field because they needed you to be fully fit.
Okay.
Now it's another strain. I was like, what am I going to do now? You know, but I went into an IT field as a technician, which that mechanical engineering certificate came as an advantage. Okay, at least he's got some technical experience now, or qualification. So I went into IT and I studied technical support. And then, yeah, I got a learnership, you know, and then I worked. And then all of a sudden, now I'm in love with IT. I was like, yo, IT.
You're still working in IT now?
Yeah, I'm still working in IT. So, yeah, that's how it rolled out after leaving hospital.
What are some of the things we shouldn't do or say to people who are on wheelchairs?
On wheelchairs?
Yeah. Like, you know, when I see someone on a wheelchair maybe trying to get into the car, for me, my instinct is I want to go help them, or, you know. How does that kind of make you feel? Do you feel like it makes you feel like we are disabling you? Or, you know, what are some of the things we must be aware of so we don't offend people?
One thing that I can promise you is that people who are disabled are not actually disabled because they are able to do so much.
Yeah.
The other day, when was it? I think it was 3 weeks back. I was at Irene Mall, and next to me there was a Porsche Carrera 911 parked next to me, and I was praising the car. Yo, that's my dream car. I want to have it. And it was parked at a disabled parking. You know, so I was like, oh, probably it's one of those people that like parking at these type of parkings. Yo, after a few seconds, this guy shows up. He's walking with crutches.
He's short.
He's short. Extremely short.
Yeah.
You know? And again, he's in his like late 30s.
Right.
You know?
Late 30s, man. Hello, I'm like almost 40. I'm thinking you're going to say 50s or 60s.
Yo, 50 kill time. I said, man. Man is
wow, I feel old.
Man, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, he walked past.
Were you still there?
Yeah, I was still there because I was still getting into the car, you know, trying to unstrap the wheelchair and blah, blah, blah. So he walks past and he greets like, sure, feel high, sharp. You know, he's alone. He's from the banks. He's alone. So can I meet my feet? So I tried to look at him, but okay. You know, because now I'm amused by, you know, people who are on chairs.
Yeah.
Or
do you stop them? Do you stop them and talk to them sometimes?
Nah, they usually stop me actually.
Okay.
You know, because I'm always like flying. You know, and they're like, why are you speeding so much? Like, you know, I don't know. I'm just a quick person, so I like being on the move. You know, so he just walked past and we greeted, and then he gets into that Porsche. You know, and I'm like, what? No ways. You know, like this shows that people are more than able, irrespective of how their bodies are.
And how we perceive them.
But they are, you know, imagine Porsche 911 Carrera. That's not a cheap car.
Yeah.
That means he's doing great stuff with his life. So I asked him, I was like, yo, how many kilowatts are you sitting on there? It's like 448. That's like, oh, the tires are like that big. His car is also adapted. So I felt inspired. I was like, oh, I want to be like that guy.
Yeah.
Sure, definitely.
What do you say are some of the challenges that you experience?
In the chair?
Yeah, compared to before.
Before. I think for me, mostly, because I used to be an active person, you know. Like a shesha.
Yeah.
Understand? Only my pace has gone down now, you know, which is, I wouldn't say it's a bad thing for me because it has given me an opportunity to meet my true self.
Slow down.
Yeah, which is what I think God wanted from me actually, to slow down, because he saw this boy.
Hey,
he's
speed too much.
He's not giving me attention. This boy, I need to get his attention. You see, so I think it was a blessing in disguise actually. You know, I always tell people, like, how do you do it? But how do you remain so positive and happy on this chair? And I tell them, I was like, you know, I look at this chair differently, you know. As much as I can't do most of the things that I used to do, well, not most, just a few. Playing soccer, you know, reach for higher things, because I was tall, so I would literally get anything.
You are tall still. You are tall.
You know.
How tall are you?
1.96.
Yeah. You're long, you're no longer tall.
That's my other nickname, Long.
Yeah.
In Pretoria, they used to call me Long.
Long.
So I always tell people, you know, man, this chair is not what you guys are seeing. You expect me to be depressed and blah, blah, blah. But I've actually learned a lot about myself and life, while being on this chair. Things I wouldn't have learned if I was still up on my feet. So I think...
Like what? What are some of the lessons do you
about
think
myself?
this- yeah.
You know, I didn't know that I've got a spiritual calling and all of that. You know, I didn't know that I was a speaker until I started, you know, being by myself. And then I spoke a lot. I was like, okay, what's happening? You know, spiritually as well, I've grown a lot. You know, I've learned to handle difficult things with ease. You know, and still shocks people till today. Oh, how do you do it? Do you ever break down? Yeah. I'm like, yeah, obviously sometimes you're gonna be overloaded,
Yeah.
but you know, I managed to come back. But yeah, man, I don't see this chair as something bad for me. You know, at some point I was like, yo, I thank God for allowing it to happen. You know, because I always tell people, okay, I think at the pace that I was running at that time, chances of me living, I don't think I would have lived that long, because yes, as my life was too fast. You know, it was just too fast. You know, but now I find pleasure in what I do now. You know, Minati and all of that. Even when they invite me, and then I was like, ish, that place now. You know, because I've outgrown that environment.
Yeah.
You know, now I find pleasure in other stuff. You know, spiritual stuff. You know, helping people emotionally.
Is this why you started Motivations
Motivations
every day?
Yeah.
That's his YouTube channel. I will link it down here below, so check him out.
Yeah, that's what drove me there. You know.
What would you say to somebody who is receiving the news that they will never be able to walk again, and maybe they're struggling with that transition? What would you say? Or to somebody who's gone through trauma?
I always say to people that for everything that happens in life, there's a reason. You know, even though in the beginning it doesn't make sense. You know, in the beginning it feels like people always blame themselves for stuff, you know. But when God wants to change something, He will definitely remove something from you, you know. For instance, in my situation, one thing that He had to move was my ability to walk. If I can't walk, I can't play. If I can't walk, I won't be able to run the business that I run, because kilos are late. So you need to, because anything can happen. Crime is high, you know. So He had to remove that just for me to see something better, you know. And what always encourages me is the fact that by the time God approves and says, okay, you can get back on your feet, my mind would have been changed to a point where I will not go back to who I was, you know. So for someone who's going through a life-changing experience or trauma, you know, they must just focus on the bigger picture that's coming, you know, because that's not just an event that's happening to break them and tear them apart, but it's an event that comes with greener pastures, I can say, you know, because there's greater joy than what they're experiencing now. They just have to allow the situation to turn them around into a better person, you know, and always lean on God, you know, because God will never leave you nor forsake you, you know. He promised us, you know, that after every storm comes sunshine, you know. So, man, soldier on. These storms never last forever, you know, but His love is eternal. So I say to them, they must keep strong, you know. They must just focus on themselves, you know, shut down anything, negativity and everything. You know, pray as much as possible, because that's where you'll receive all your answers. That will lead you and guide you into the next chapter in your life. Because there must be
the end.
It's not the end. It's never the end unless He says it's the end.
Yeah.
You know, chapters must be there. That's why all the books have chapters and sections and all of that. You know, so not everyone is gonna go into the next chapter, you know, smoothly. Some of us have to, leave a few things behind, and for that, pain is involved, you know. No pain, no gain.
Yeah.
Sometimes that rule applies in life. So it happens. Not to everyone,
Yeah.
but whoever it happens to, they mustn't think they're being punished or anything, because it's never a punishment.
Yeah.
It's just redirection.
I love that. Not punishment, redirection.
Yes.
Yeah. That was actually my last question, but I've just thought of something now. Hore, since you've been in this chair for a few years now, are there certain things, establishments that you think need to improve, or services that need to improve for people who are on wheelchairs?
I think, especially for people who are into sports, yeah, I think stadiums need to be well equipped, because there's some stadiums that have got elevators and all of that, but they don't work, you know. So for people like us who love soccer and being at stadiums, you know, such improvements would be good for us, you know. Accommodations as well, you know, these tourist attractions, you know, most of them need to cater for such, you know, not only have, because I've realized that most of them have like one room or apartment that's wheelchair friendly, you know. So I think they need to make more of those, you know, maybe in a lodge of 50 rooms, at least 10, 15 must be of such, because I feel like someone who's not on a wheelchair
Can still use the room, yeah. If anything, they'll have more room.
They'll have more room, yeah, even better for them, you know. So such things need to be improved. I see malls are on point when it comes to that.
Do you still experience people parking in such parkings and not needing them?
Yo, it irritates me. But I park anyway. I just park anyway.
Yeah.
Even a small parking, just make a plan. Quick. You know, because I don't like complaining too much.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a find a solution person. I move. You know, I'm always looking for a solution rather than arguing about the problem.
Yeah. Alrighty. Thank you, Kgomotso, for your time, and I know that your story will be an encouragement to a number of people who will watch them. So you link it onto your channel, and we spread the word.
Let's do so.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's a pleasure.